Hey everybody, how's everybody doing? Another stream. Hey everybody, it's another chat with me. My name is Mike Locascio, and I teach people how to maintain their computer and repair their computer. And I'm going to talk about maintenance, computer safety, and all kinds of good things like that with you tonight. So feel free to come in and give your opinion on things and ask questions and anything that has to do with computer safety and keeping your computer running good and cleaning it and tuning it up. That's what I talk about in my videos and my live streams. So everybody's welcome. And without further notice, I'm going to talk about computer safety. One thing you got to do is you got to have strong passwords to be safe now in 2019. You have to have passwords that have lowercase letters and uppercase letters and symbols and all different things that will throw people off so they can't try to break your password. That's what hackers do. They try to break your passwords. And if you have weak password, for your bank information and when you pay your bills online and when you go shopping online at different websites, they could scan your computer and try to break in and get through your passwords. So you got to have passwords that don't make any sense. In other words, password 123 is not going to do it anymore. You have to put strong passwords in to protect yourself and your financial life online. Because there's a lot of programs out there that can protect you, like antivirus, spyware removal, registry cleaner, going in and doing maintenance yourself. And you got to do these things in order for you to be safe online. The more you clean your computer, protect your computer with virus removal software and these different programs and taking off your history and all your temporary stuff and then taking off programs running in the background of Windows. Those things will speed up your computer and make it run a lot better and safer too. And when I talk about safety, I also want to talk about some of the things that might sound like you probably heard them before from me, but I have to stress that you really need to update your Windows. Do Windows update. And even if you want to put it on automatic update and let it do it by itself, that's fine. Go down to search, type in Windows updates, and get all the updates for Windows. It'll really be good for your computer. It'll protect you from a lot of these threats. People try to hack into your computer and stuff. Windows has, for Windows 10, has a lot of updates that'll help protect you. And they keep coming out with updates. They call them patches. And those are things that will protect you online. So make sure you update your Windows. It's very important. You should do that as often as you can and make sure you have everything. It'll tell you when you go over there to Windows Updates that you're protected. And if you're protected and you have all the updates, great. You click that button, update it. If it says it has a bunch of updates, do them. But you could do them when you're not using the computer, and that way you won't have to sit there and wait because it's going to take a while. Hey, how you doing? Who's that there? Welcome to the live stream. Hope we get some more people in here. been on for about 5 minutes so far. And I didn't do a live stream the other day. I figured I'd do one tonight. I do them usually every couple of days, sometimes in the morning, sometimes at night. I was away from it for a couple of days. Hey, Muscle Car Appraisal, good to see you, bud. Great to see you. I checked out your website. Your channel. It's a really nice channel. I had a lot of friends that were into the muscle cars back in the day. They're pretty cool. Sure, you're welcome. Just talking about cleaning your computer and making it safe and that kind of thing. Keeping it safe from intruders like people that hack into your computer. They try to take your information and your banking information, and you want to stay safe. With antivirus, you want to have your Windows updates. Make sure you have them fully updated to protect you from people trying to break in your computer. There's a lot of threats out there, and there's a lot of people that do that, unfortunately. It's an ongoing thing. So if you have the antivirus up to date, Windows updates, and really strong passwords, I tell people to change their passwords and put upper and lowercase letters and symbols. No easy passwords anymore. Make sure you write them down. That way you have them, and you'll be really protective, and it'll be hard for people to break in. Hello, ASAP Fishing. Good to see you. Welcome. So being safe online is a lot more than, not going to bad websites, because, hackers today, if somebody wants to put a virus on your computer, they can connect a virus to a well-known good site. It's not like years ago where they, you have to go to like a porn site or something like that to get a virus. Now you can get viruses a lot easier. Hello there, ASAP Fishing. Welcome. So I always try to tell people in my videos and my customers too, you have to try to be as safe as possible online, and make sure you're at a secure site. If you're going to be banking online, it's got a lot more risky, so make sure you have protection. As you could never have too much, that's for sure. Hi there, ASAP Fishing One. Good to see you. And also, if you're using a laptop, make sure you feel your power cord and make sure it doesn't get too hot. I've seen power cords start on fire. So you want to make sure your power cord is in good shape. Feel it. You got that green light that's on all the time, which is good. That means it's working. But feel your power cord. Make sure it's not overheating, because if it is, you need to replace it. I've seen power cords start on fire, and it's not a pretty thing. If you have a power cord that gets really hot, definitely replace it, and make sure it's only plugged in when you're using it too. That's a lot safer way. Thanks for the thumbs up there. I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate it. I want you all to be safe online. I want you to have a great computer experience. Hello, True North Angler. Another fisherman. I love fishing. I'm down here in Florida, and I haven't gone fishing in a while, but I want to go get back to it. This is something I always did with my dad when I was younger, and I go fishing down here with my friend Ron. Yeah, sure. Anything. You have a question? Just ask if I can help you. I'll be glad to help you. So like, your fans need to be clean. If you're on a desktop, your fans are always running and your computer gets really hot on a desktop and you want to keep the circulation going. So when the computer's off, you can unplug it, make sure your fans are clean. You can use a Q-tip, a brush, anything, just to get all the dust off your inside of the computer. You don't want to have a lot of dust inside your computer because that'll make your components hot. And your motherboard, if you have a lot of dust on it, it's going to run hot. Your CPU is going to overheat. It's going to get really hot. If you have a lot of dust on the heat sink and dust in your CPU fan. Okay, I recently bought a laptop. I installed Google Chrome as the startup, but now when I click, it opens. I didn't see the whole thing, but it opened. Well, make sure Google is your default browser. If you have another browser and you install Google Chrome, like if you have Edge, which is actually the new version for Windows 10, it's actually a better updated version for as Explorer was. But yeah, what you do is you need to open your Chrome up and go into the settings and make sure Google Chrome is your default browser. And also type in Google Chrome inside your settings. And if you see anything else in there, highlight it and remove it. Because your browser might be redirecting you to somewhere else. That's what it sounds like. It's possible that could be happening. So make sure, and also go into your control panel into add remove programs and make sure you don't have any toolbars and things that got on your computer. That's very possible. And if you have any toolbars in there, make sure you highlight it and go to the top and uninstall them, because you might be, what happens is if Chrome is not your default browser, you can click it open and it just might go somewhere else, or your browser might be hijacked. If it's hijacked, you need to get like a program like Malwarebytes free version and run that, completely run it, and go into your settings also in Windows and change whatever's in that box there and make sure that says www.google.com. I like Google Chrome. It opens up as Bing. Okay, well, it's probably set on. See, there's three different settings when you go into your settings on Chrome. Okay, if you open Chrome, you go up to the upper right hand side. You'll see three dots. You click that, and you go to settings. There's actually three different things that you could put in the boxes. One will say Bing is a trusted site, or MSN. You can put, people put different things in there. You just need to highlight it and remove that and make sure Google Chrome is the only thing that's showing up in there. Because if Bing's in there, it may find Bing. Also, another reason why Bing's probably showing up is in your internet options in your Windows. It probably, by default, it might be going to Bing. So you have to go into your internet options and, backspace on that and type in Google in there, www.google.com, and hit apply and hit OK. So that's what it sounds like it's doing. It's set to Bing, most likely. So it's going to, that's your home page. You're still using Google, but it's making Bing your home page. That's what it sounds like to me without looking at it. Because it has my YouTube and Google has. Oh yeah, and another thing about Google Chrome is you can click on show my favorite programs on the top, and just open that up. So yeah, check and see in your Windows And if you have its, Bing in your Windows, Internet options, also, like I said, go inside your Chrome browser settings, and it might be in there also. So if it is, make your default browser Google, Chrome, and also make sure it's saying Chrome in all those places there, because that happens sometimes. Yeah, do that. You're welcome. See what happens is people use Chrome, and it's a very good browser and it's very stable. But you have to remember that. And I use Chrome all the time. I mean, that's my favorite browser. I tell people that it's most, best browser for Windows. So I tell people that. I mean, there's other browsers and things like that. I'm not saying they're bad, but I think Chrome works better with everything on the internet. And but it's something that you have to set it also, because um, there are when things that will interfere with it and make it, you can just be directed somewhere else. Or if your computer always says one thing. Hey, Tim Robinson, good to see you, man. How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. It can always throw you off. Like, I'm on Windows 7 on this computer here. So I go into Internet Options, and I want it to say Google Chrome there. And that's what it's going to say if it's going to get there. So it has to say that in there. Yeah, good to see you guys. About to hit the hay. Had to pop in to leave a like. Hey, I appreciate it. Thumbs up, guys. I appreciate it. Oh, 3 a.m. Wow. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock here. You must be somewhere far away or in another country. Yeah, I'm on 10. You are in California or something like that, huh? But yeah, 3 a.m. I'd be in bed. UK, okay. Yeah, I love my friends on the other side of the pond, that's for sure. Thanks for coming in, and I hope to see you again. I remember being on AOL years ago, and we had a lot of good fun on AOL chat rooms, and a lot of good people in the UK. And I'm sure there's a lot of good people on YouTube from the UK, good people. And yeah, YouTube, I guess, is made up of like so many different backgrounds and countries, and makes it really interesting. Yeah, that's one thing I always tell people. I use Malwarebytes, and I run that, and any kind of junk that it finds, it'll take a lot of these directors on there. Gonna leave you a like and head down. You for helping folks out with their machines. Good night too. I appreciate you, and thank you for stopping in. And anybody have any questions on, you could leave it in the comments or you type it in, and I'll be glad to help you if I can. I've been working on computers a long time, and I've seen a lot of things out there. Peace, my friend. Peace to you also. And you're always welcome to come into my live streams if you see me on, or even the replays. They stay on YouTube for a while. I have a couple of them in replay right now. But I'm always looking to help people with their computers and any issues that we might have. And it's a good platform to do it. I like YouTube. And I'm fairly new to YouTube. I started in November, and I already have like 500 subscribers, which is pretty cool. and I'm going to keep working on it and hopefully, grow. And I like to help other people grow too. There's some really nice people that are following me, and I'm following a lot of nice people too. And I go to different live streams, and I made a lot of friends with people, and they're really good things to get involved in. So if you have a favorite live stream, morning or night, they could be a lot of fun. And there's good people that will support you too and help you out, and also, definitely support them back because, the whole idea is to help others and they'll help you, and that's the community, and that's the way everybody can grow. But I like to other channels too. I'll go to fishing channels, which I enjoy fishing, even cooking and things like that. I like the outdoors, so I check a lot of people that are outdoors channels, and it's a lot of fun. When I'm not making videos, I watch videos. I enjoy watching them. So make sure you have those fans clean on your desktop. Also, your laptop, that's important too. Clean the fans on your laptop. There's one fan, and the grill is on the side of it most of the time. Keep that open because air is coming out of your laptop. On desktops, air comes out and goes in. So that's why if you're on a desktop and after a while from smoking, dust, and carpet, thick carpet and stuff like that, you can get a lot of dust in your fans on your desktop because some fans will just bring all the stuff in. And I've seen people that have like caked on dust and they didn't really pay attention to it. And that's not only bad for the computer, it's very dangerous because if the computer gets too hot, it can start on fire. So you always want to keep your fans clean, and you want to keep your CPU fan clean and your heatsink clean. And your computer will run a lot cooler. The cooler your computer runs, the longer it's going to last because the components that if they stay cool, they're going to last longer. So you really got to look and make sure that you're keeping your computer running cool. And when you're on a laptop, keep the drinks away. You don't want the drink too close to your keyboard. And be careful with that because the best way to be safe is to keep your drinks a good distance away from your laptop. And make sure, if your laptop gets, Night Girl is on now. Oh yeah, Night is a good friend of mine. I go into her chat and she's real nice. I go into a couple people. There's like a whole group of them. They're real good people. And I met a lot of good people in her chat for a live stream. So it's a lot of fun when you hang out with Nike and Just Living and Stacy and all these other people. They're real nice people. And Ralph, the trucker, he's an excellent guy. And there's a lot more on. I can name several of them. So that's the thing, if you have dust on the bottom of your computer case, make sure you get like a rag and, don't wet it or anything. It could be damp, or get a small vacuum and then clean it all out. Clean all the dust out. You want to keep your desktop free of dust on your video card, on your memory. You don't want dust on your motherboard. You don't want it to accumulate on any of the fans or anything. Keep your desktop in a well-ventilated area where there's circulation. This air can circulate in and circulate out. And that's what you want to do. And check it now and then and make sure dust isn't building up. And if your laptop runs hot, you can always buy one of them laptop pads, cooling pads. They have fans in them. And they're pretty reasonable as far as pricing. And you just put that on your desk, sit your laptop on it, and it'll keep it cool. Connector to USB, most of them do. So most laptops, they don't get too hot. It depends on the use. If you're using it for a real long time, yeah, I would consider getting a cooling pad. That'll help you out because all the heat comes from the bottom, and the CPU and the memory gets hot. And if you have a high-end video card in your laptop, that can get hot too. And there's just one fan that circulates mostly. If you have a real good video card, you might have a fan that connects to your CPU, which brings all the hot air out. So that's a good thing. So make sure you keep things running, keep it running cool, because that's really good. You'll keep the side case on if it's a desktop, because it'll keep a lot of dust going in. Your side case, side cover or case. And your drives too, make sure your DVD RW or your CD-ROM drive is clean of dust. And there's a little lens in there, and you want to keep that clean so it'll read your disc good. You want to keep that dust free, so you put that DVD in, and it's going to read it good. Every once in a while, you can check, make sure your plugs are all plugged in right, and things like that. If you have a hot swappable USB plugged into your computer, it's okay to keep it plugged in. But if it's not, some USBs you don't want to. You want to make sure the machine is off before you unplug it. That's a safe thing to do. Unplug, and when the machine shut off, then you can unplug like your external hard drive. But don't try to pull it out when the computer's running. It can harm your hardware like that. It's not really a good thing to do. And you probably get a message on there telling you too. It always says hardware has been ejected. And look at your software programs too. You can go into Device Manager if there's any updates. And check like update for your video card, update for your sound card. There can be programs that you have on your computer. Make sure if there's any update for that, check into it. Some of these programs you're running have updates, and it'll be more secure and it'll run better if you get the latest update for them. So check into your programs and your drivers also for updates. It's a good thing to keep everything up to date because they come out with new things, new files that will help your devices and help your programs run better. Even updated versions of a program, download it. They come out with, some programs come out with updated versions sometimes, so you gotta keep on the lookout for them so you can get the newest version. And it might have some extra things on there too. That's one thing that you definitely want to look into. And definitely clean your browser. I always stress that Google browser. I mean, as you go into a lot of these websites, surfing, and you get all kinds of temporary files and history that goes in your Google browser. And, make sure you clean a lot of that out. And it's simple to do. Just go open your browser and just go on the upper right hand side and click on the three dots and go to where it says history. Then hover your mouse to the left and you'll see all the files there, all on the right side. It's all on your history. And you just do Control A and you want to delete them and delete all the ones that you got there. And then you can, if you want, you can go to settings and make sure you're set to Google Chrome and you don't have anything else in there, and you want your default browser to be Google Chrome, because every time you click on Google, you want it to go to Google. And that's That's a good thing because there's a lot of these redirectors that'll get on your computer or you download something and you're not paying attention. When you download something, make sure you read what it says because a lot of these times you'll download a program and it'll say you're also agreeing to download third party software. So check out what you're downloading when you're downloading it and uncheck those boxes before you download it because that way you won't be downloading other things at the same time and then you'll end up with these different programs and toolbars and things like that that you didn't want. And a lot of it's spyware. So anytime you download something, read what you're doing. Even is this what I'm getting, or is there any third party software coming with it? And if there is, you look at it. Sometimes it's an antivirus, sometimes it's going to give you some weird, like toolbar. Uncheck it. It's a lot easier to uncheck it at first than to go into Windows and start uninstalling stuff. But if you don't uncheck it and you find you have these problems, then you need to go into add remove programs in the control panel and look through your list and highlight whatever junk got on there and go on to the top and hit uninstall. That'll take it off. You do one thing at a time. If there's games in there you don't use, highlight it, go to the top, hit uninstall. Any programs you don't use, you can uninstall them. Any toolbars that get on your computer or any spyware, if you uninstall it. But if you're not sure what it is, you can either do a Google search or just leave it because I don't want you to uninstall something that you need. It could be something important. If you're not sure what it is, just leave it alone. And like I said, if you don't have Windows, Office program, a lot of people, because of the price, they don't have Office. And there's some alternatives. There's a program called Open Office, and you can download that for free. It's called Open Office. Just do a search on Google, and it's similar to Microsoft Office. And you can have spreadsheet, and you can do things on there also. If you like me and you have problems spelling certain hard words, you can get a program called Grammarly. Grammarly is a free Google extension. You just search for Grammarly and it's a free version. And if there's a word that's not spelled right, Grammarly will have the proper spelling underneath it, and you just click on it and it will put the word in there properly spelled. So it's a good thing if you're not a great speller. And I use Grammarly all the time. I even have it on my phone. So, your antivirus definitely needs to be up to date. You want the latest definition files for your antivirus. That's what keeps you safe, those definition files. When you update it, you're getting the definition files. Those are the files that protect you from the viruses and all the threats that have been reported are in that update. So make sure you keep the antivirus update because just having a scanner and not having the update is not protecting you at all. It may scan your computer, but you need to update it all the time. Make sure it's up to date. It'll tell you if it's up to date. And if it's up to date, then you're going to be scanning with the current software for your antivirus. And you want to do that. And that's where it will find things. And it tells you on there, like I use Avast, it will tell you if they found any viruses and it'll prompt you to quarantine them or remove them. And same with Malwarebytes, anti-malware remover. You can get that free also. You can go to download.com and you can download these programs and a lot of other free software. It's called CNET, downloads.com. It's a really good website and everything on there is safe to download. So if you don't have to worry about going to some weird site where It's going to put all this other junk on there. And also, there's a site called Ninite, Ninite. If you want to get programs, free programs, go to Ninite, and you'll be able to decide what programs you want, check all the boxes of the programs that you want, and then hit Get My Ninite, and one at a time is going to install all these programs without any junk installing with it. That's a good place to download programs. It's spelled Ninite. If you're not familiar with it, that's where you should get your programs from. It's a safe and good site, and it has a lot of good programs there, and they're all free. So check that out. There's a lot of temps that you could take off your computer. Now, if you're on a Windows 10 computer, I always tell people, if your computer seems like it's running slow, there's 3 different things you can do to get rid of temporary files. Temporary files can slow your computer down. And if they're slowing your computer down, you can go and remove them. You go to your Windows icon in the bottom left-hand corner, you right-click it, then you left-click Run, and you type in the Run box, TEMP, temp. You hit OK, and it might give you another screen that says Continue, and then you see all the folders, your temp folders on the right-hand side. Those are safe to remove. And you do Control A, hit Delete, and remove as much of those temp folders as you can. And then close that out. Go back to the Start button, right click, left click, Run again, and type in the %, temp, %. So you have temp, but you're going to put % signs on both sides. Then you click OK, and then you're going back to Continue, and you're going to see all your another area where there's a lot of temporary files. Do the same thing, highlight Control A on your keyboard and delete them. And close that out. And you could do the same thing for another area where files get put on temporarily on your computer. You go back to the Run box and you type in prefetch, PREFETCH, small letters. You hit OK, you get rid of all your prefetch files. Now, if you don't get every single one of them, don't worry about it. And most of them you take out, it will still speed up your computer, so don't worry about getting every one. Sometimes you'll leave 3 or 4 files behind, and that's okay. Just close it out. If your computer's running programs in the background, then you're going to be slowing down also. Your computer's not going to run as fast as it normally did before, like when you first got it, how much it ran better. A lot of cases, that's what happens. So what you need to do is, you need to go, if you're on a Windows 7, you need to go into your Run box and type in msconfig. That's msconfig, and click that, click OK, and then you're going to go to another screen called Configuration Utility, and you're going to uncheck all the boxes. You go to the Startup tab on the top, uncheck all the boxes, hit Apply and OK, and then restart. If you're on Windows 10, you want to go to your Task Manager. So you have to right-click an empty spot on your toolbar down at the bottom and click on Task Manager, and then see what's running on your computer in the background, and you can take those off, and you can free up your memory, and your computer will run better. So that's a very good tip. A lot of times people's computers get slow and sluggish, and you have to do the maintenance and take programs off of the startup menu and have them free up the memory that you have. And it can also consider upgrading your memory. If you don't have a lot of memory in your computer, you may want to upgrade it. So think about that. If you upgrade your computer with memory, it's going to run better. It's going to run faster. So you have to see how much you have and as far as the memory. Oh, honey lot, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thanks for coming by. I'm glad you hit the like button. And if you have any computer questions, feel free to ask. I'm glad you're with us on learning how to clean your computer and keep your computer running good. And that's what I talk about. And I'm glad to be on here now and trying to help as many people as I can. So glad you're here. Glad everybody comes by. And you can check out my other live streams and the replay if you don't make it in time. And they stay on there for a little bit. So you get a lot of good information from them. So adding memory will definitely speed up your computer. And to find out how much memory you have, you could go to like a company called Crucial.com. You can go on the internet, either call them or you can go to their website. They have a memory tester. It tests your computer and sees how much memory you have, and then it tells you what's available. And I don't get paid by the company or anything, but I do recommend them because I've been buying memory for many years through them, and they have very good memory. And their website is crucial.com, and that's a good website if you want to speed up your computer, upgrade it, and add more memory to it. If you have 4 gigs, you might want to go to 6 or 8. Computers now, new computers are coming all the way up to 16 gigs. Hey, Muttnut Reviews. Hi there. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by in the live stream. Appreciate it. And Crucial is a good site. You want your computer to run faster, you upgrade your memory, and your computer will perform better. That's one thing you can do. It's the cheapest way to make your computer run faster. Notice it doesn't really cost a lot. So you talk to Crucial, and they'll get you set up, and you can find out the pricings and everything else on your computer as far as upgrading the memory, because they're really good. And I've put memory in a lot of customers' computers, and it makes a big difference. But maintenance and taking things off a startup will make your computer run faster. It's only going to run as fast as the processor you have in it and the memory you have in it. Even when you free everything up, it'll run better than it did before. But I'm talking about if you want to make it run even faster, you consider upgrading the RAM memory. And that's a real important thing if you're going to keep your computer for a while. If the computer's good, it's only a couple of years old, and it may be a little slow, but a memory upgrade may be exactly what you need. If you want to keep the computer for a while, that's a good thing to do. Sometimes you can get prices vary, but a lot of times you can get 4 gigs for, let's say, around $20, which isn't a lot. And you can always watch my video about how to install the memory. Memory is not very hard to install. You just have to make sure it's not plugged in. And if you're in a desktop computer, there's 2 white clips on each side of the memory, and you pull them down to open it, and then you lift the memory out. And on the bottom of the memory, it's keyed. All memory is keyed. In other words, it'll be a straight thing, and then it'll be a little dip in there. And if you look in the slot where the memory came out, it's identical. There's a little place in there where the memory fits. It will only go in one way. So the way you took it out is the way it's going to go back in. So if you took out a 2 gig stick of RAM memory and you buy a 4 gig, you're going to put it in the same way as you took it out, and then you're going to press down a little bit in the center, and those 2 white clips on the side are going to lock it in place, and you'll hear a click. And once you hear a click and both of them are in place, then your memory's installed properly. Now, if you're on a laptop, it's a little different. The memory sticks are much smaller, little square things. Desktop memory is longer. What you do on a laptop is you unplug it, you take your battery out, you turn the laptop upside down. You can put it on a towel or something so it doesn't damage anything. And get a little small Phillips screwdriver, and there's some doors on the bottom of your laptop. Make sure the battery's out and it's unplugged. Unscrew the door open, and you'll see a little square thing. It's called the RAM memory, just like your desktop, but it's much smaller. And in this case, there's 2 metal prongs on each side, and you just separate them, pull them apart, and the memory will come up, and then you slide it out. So if you got a 1 gig stick you're taking out, you could put in a 2 gig stick in there, and it will speed up your computer. Just make sure you put it in the same way it came out, and make sure it's all the way in the slot, and the sides are closed on it. There's 2 sticks in a laptop. Most laptops have the memory on the bottom. So when you call Crucial, you give me your model number, and they'll tell you exactly where your memory is and how much your system will take. That's a very helpful website, and I recommend that to anybody. There are other places you can buy memory, and if you know somebody, then that's great. But overall, Crucial is one of the best places to get memory, and like I said, their prices are pretty reasonable, and you'll see a big difference too when you change it. And then when you start up your computer, give it a second, because it's going to take a second for it to recognize that memory. So just when you restart it after you put memory in, it'll go through a little bit of a hesitation, and then it will start. It's looking for the memory. And if it doesn't start up, then the memory's not all the way in properly. You have to unplug it, make sure it's all the way in. If it's all the way in and it's the right kind of memory, the computer should start right up without any problem. Just make sure you have it all the way in. The metal on the memory has to go in that slot and make a good connection. And then once it does that, then the computer should start up fine. It's going to go through post, it's going to recognize the memory, and it's going to continue to start up Windows. And that's what you want it to do. So there you go as far as upgrading your memory goes. It's something to consider. I would tell people that if you had a computer with 2 gigs of memory or 4 gigs of memory, you may want to upgrade, because that's kind of on the low side. 4 gigs is kind of like the beginning, and or on up. But if you have any less than 4 gigs, then your computer is going to be running pretty slow. And now, like I said, they have computers that come with 16 gigs. So I mean, you're going to be running a lot faster if you have a lot more memory. So that's a good thing. Plus SSD hard drive. If you're going to upgrade your computer and you want to keep it, I would also consider getting an SSD hard drive, and they're much faster than SATA hard drive that's presently in your computer. So if you have a SATA hard drive and you want to keep your computer, but you want it to run faster, you can consider getting an SSD hard drive, and they're very good. That's the new hard drive that are out now, and your computer will run faster, And with the new hard drive and the memory together, it's going to run really good. But some people like to upgrade, some people like to buy a new system. That's a personal choice. I always tell people if it's cost effective to upgrade, but if it's going to cost you too much, then you may want to consider buying a new system, a new laptop, or something more upgradable. It really depends on the computer you have and what you use it for. There's a lot of good laptops out there in the market now that come with SSD hard drive, come with a lot of memory, quad core processor, and a very good video card, and that's the kind of thing that you want with today's programs and applications. And it depends what you get as, as far as the pricing goes. But just don't buy anything with a Celeron processor. Celeron is Intel's lowest grade processor. And if you're going to buy a laptop, make sure you get a good processor, AMD processor, quad core, or a good Intel processor. But make sure you're not going to get a Celeron processor. You don't want that. And you want to get something that's decent. An i5 or higher. They have i7s out now, even i9 Intel processor. i5s are decent. It's really what you can afford and what you're going to use the computer for. And I recommend HP, Asus, that's spelled ASUS, as far as a new computer. I like Dell computers. And Toshiba makes a very good computer. Lenovo's okay. I don't recommend Acer. I don't recommend some of the other brands. But I do recommend Dell, HP, and Toshiba, and Alienware. If you're into gaming, you want to get a nice high-end laptop for gaming or a desktop. They are pricey, but Alienware is a very good product. A lot of people are buying custom built. If you know somebody that can custom build your computer for a reasonable price, that may be another consideration. Usually with a custom build, you're not going to get a lot of this bloatware that you are when you buy an off-the-shelf computer. Because when you buy a computer new off the shelf, you're going to get what's called bloatware in your computer. And what is bloatware? It's a lot of added on stuff. What happens is, let's say you go to the store and buy a computer, okay? Well, these different companies want to put stuff on your computer to, sell you or advertise a product or something. So they, the manufacturer lets them put on stuff on the computer. So you're adding on different programs. A lot of them you don't need, and you probably wouldn't want it. So I always tell people if you buy a new computer, it's a good idea to get custom built, then you won't get bloatware on it. But if you buy one off the shelf in the store, you want to consider taking unnecessary things off there, like bloatware. And that's a good thing. You can look it up. And I may do a video just on bloatware alone to explain to people what it is and how to remove it from your computer. Because all new computers from the store are going to have bloatware on it. A lot of added on stuff that you don't need, and that can and will eventually slow the computer down. And also, it might be slowing the computer down from the day you buy it because your hard drive is going to be loaded with all this extra stuff, and most of it you don't need, trust me. It's just like introductory to this or all this other programs and stuff like that. It's kind of like the tiles on Windows 10 and Windows 8. Some of them you may like, and use. Some of them you won't use. You can remove them. You can resize them. But nobody likes all the tiles. Just maybe something that you don't want to use or it doesn't interest you. Well, that's what bloatware is kind of like. They add on stuff that you're not interested in, you don't want to use it, but it's still there. So you have an option to remove it. If anybody's new here and they haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe, hit the bell. You'll be notified anytime I come out with a video or a live stream. And definitely do that. If you're already subscribed, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So with that, I think I'm going to end the live stream now, and I hope people got value out of the live stream. If you have any questions or any comments, please send them to me. Hey, Dark Tempest, how you doing there, bud? Any comments, questions, any programs or any computer tips that you have that you find valuable, you can always type it into the live stream, or if there's a video topic that you want me to make a video about, send me a comment and I'll probably make a video on that, or I'll give you more information about that. I have a question about my PC. Oh, go ahead, Dark. What's the question there? You could always leave in the comments, or you can always, let me know, because if it's a subject that will help you, I'll make a video on it, and you'll know I can explain it to you much better. If there's any computer terms or any topics, then you want to let me know. Keep saying errors when I'm doing something. Okay, are you on a Windows 8, Windows 10, Windows 7 computer? Because if you're saying you have errors, what you can do, okay, Windows 10, okay. Well, if it says you have errors, you want to do maintenance to it, well, the first thing I would do is I would go into your computer, you right-click on the Start menu, and then you will be left-clicking on File Explorer, and then you're going to go to this PC, and then when you see your C drive, you want to right-click on your C drive and left-click Properties. And once you click on Properties, you will see another box. It will say Scan Disk, and right next to Scan Disk, it will say Clean System Files. And if I were you, I would go in there and I would click on Scan Disk, remove System Files, and after the Scan Disk scans, it'll find some things for you to remove. Then you click OK, remove them. And after you remove them, right underneath that window, it says Optimize Drive and Defragmentation. I would click on that, and I would also double click on the C drive and then let it run, and it will find any errors on your hard drive, and it will try to correct the errors. So that's something that you can do. Also, if you're not doing maintenance, you might have a lot of temporary files that need to be removed. You might have, I would say, remove them. And also, I would say to programs that are running on startup, you want to go down and you want to take programs off your startup menu, and that'll help also. But generally, errors, you have to go in there and you have to do disk scan, and you have to defrag your hard drive, and it will find bad sectors in your hard drive, and it will put a line across them, and so you won't be able to write to that area. And that's how Windows cleans errors from your hard drive. So I would start there. I don't want to give you a whole lot of stuff at once, but start there, go into and do those tests, disk scan, clean system files, and then defragmentation. Double click the C drive. You're very welcome. I hope that helps. And if you have any further questions, just, let me know. And definitely subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I think you're already on my list, but I hope that helps you. That's part of the general maintenance for Windows 10. Everybody needs to do these things to make your computer run better. Every month or so, or every couple of months, it's a good idea to disk scan and do defrag. That will make your hard drive much healthier. Now, if you have an SSD hard drive, do not do defrag because SSD hard drives don't get defrag. So you could do the scan disk, but don't do defrag if you have an SSD hard drive. Now, if you have a SATA hard drive, make sure you do both. So it depends on the hard drive in your computer. SSD hard drives, there's no need to defrag because they're a different type of hard drive. So just letting you know that. And with that, I think I'm going to end it. I'm doing it as we're speaking. Good. Just remember, if you have an SSD hard drive, just do the first part. Don't do the defrag. If you have a SATA hard drive, do the second part also. Optimize and defragmentation. Double click on the C drive and just sit back, wait till it's done. Okay, Dark Tempest, I appreciate the question and I hope that helps. With that, I'm going to end the live stream. This is Michael Locascio. I help people maintain their computer, repair the computer, and I will talk to you again. And thanks everybody for coming. I'm so glad that you guys are here. And without you guys, I wouldn't have a channel because you guys are the reason why I'm here. So thanks a lot. And look for me again and have a great night.